Alright guys, when you start doing your electronics in your dash, you want to make sure everything's labeled. In the past I had a dash in here before and it was just, masking tape labeled with the marker. That's really not good enough for me. Go buy yourself a $20 label machine from Costco. Comes with the tape and everything. And type it out and put it on stickies and make sure that this will last a lot longer than masking tape labels. You want to make sure you label everything or else it's going to be a big mess. You want to make sure if you ever sell the car, they know what they're doing when they take it apart. If you don't, people's not going to know what wires are what, so it's good to label everything. And I kind of did in the past, but not good. This is not good enough. This gets the heat gets to it and it just breaks off. It's brittle. Alright, I got the connector that goes into the dash electronics for the Knight Rider dash all labeled up. So I got instrument panel, that means this is the wire loom that goes into all of the speedo inputs, RPM, fuel, temp, all that. And then I got 12 volts hot, which is all the time hot. You got your ground and you got your 12 volt ignition, so that's only powered on when the ignition's on. That's the way I wanted my car to set up. I didn't want power to it unless the ignition is turned on. So I mean, you can run yours hot all the time if you want to. It just depends how you want to hook it up. Okay, here's the instrument panel. Pulled it out of the car. As you can see right here, the wires go from my connector and they go through the holes where the light bulbs used to be. I ran a couple there, the rest through there. So turn this to the back side. Also took the plastic piece off that kind of covers the panel. You can leave yours, but I took mine apart. And then when it runs through here, so I got the tack right here, tachometer. I just wrapped the wire in there and then tightened down the bolt. Same with the speedo. I just wrapped it around, tightened the bolt. You can solder these if you want to. These ones I disconnected because I had my dash out of my car for a couple years because I was supposed to get it repainted and I just never put it back in. And these ones go to the temp, which I marked. This one's the temperature. This is your oil pressures. And here's your fuel. But you could only use one or the other. They don't work in conjunction with each other. You either run your electronics from your dash, Jupiter or whatever, whoever you're using, or you use the stock ones. You can't run them both at the same time. And what I do when I'm using the Knight Rider dash, I'll hook up the wire that goes to it to the temp, and I'll unscrew the other two because these are the other two connections for this one. So I'll hook this one up and I'll take these two out. The tack, I think the tack might work in conjunction. I know a couple of them do, but a couple of them don't. But just to be on the safe side, just pull these two screws out. Same with the speedo, you can take these two out. That way you just don't have any problems. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's super simple to hook up your inputs for the dash. It's not rocket science. Just find out where it is on your cluster. I think this is a 91, so it's going to be different than an 82. 82 doesn't even have the digital speedometer. That's why I hate using it. You have to add a Cyberdyne unit 1 electronical speedo for the 82s. But I think it's 85, 86 and up. They don't need them. I think it's just the 82, 83, and maybe some of the 84s. But yeah, and now I'm just going to label my wires up here so I know what's what. Also, if you want to run your turn signals into your electronic board for like the compass, if you have the dummy compass, you can have east and west as your turn signals. So these are your bulbs. They just turn and they come out. And just find out which one's the hot. I don't remember which one it is. I'm thinking it's probably the top one, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think it's the top and the ground is the bottom. So then you could just solder, but just be careful because this is like this, it's copper on plastic. You can solder to it, or you can just run your wire to this bulb and then put it back in if you want. Okay, I got everything labeled out. Left turn signal, right turn signals here up top is the high beam right here. Your speed connector there. When you have your speed connected and you want it disconnect from the stock one, unplug these two screws, unscrew these and take it out completely. Same with the fuel, leave that one in, unscrew these two. Same with the temperature, leave that one in, take these out. This is like negative and this is negative, and this is the power that runs the unit for the temperature for the stock one. So take that out. It's okay if you leave the signal connected for the screw for the temperature, because now it's not getting voltage, ground, and power to it, so it'll give you an accurate reading to your electronic board. Same with the oil PSI, remove these. Okay, here's my 25 pin connector. When I first soldered this years ago, because this is pretty old, I made up a paper on 1 through 25, and it says exactly what is what on the paper. And if you look at the numbers, you can read the numbers on the ends, so you can pretty much count, like, okay, this one's for speedo, this one's for temp, this one's for oil. But if I was to lose this paper, that'd be it. You wouldn't know what's what without testing each wire. So now what I did is I labeled them all. When the wires come out, it says on the actual wire, this is for speedo. I have the speedo labeled out as speedo or speed going right to it. So it's just double protection. So you have the wire loom labeled, where it goes labeled, and that's everywhere. Where the fuel goes, fuel, temp, oil pressure. So that's a good way to do it. If you ever sell your car or ever go somewhere else, it'll be easy for someone to maintenance this. You won't have a problem. Only thing I'm going to be adding is I'm going to add the right turn signal, left turn signal, and the high beam, which is right here. I'll make 3 wires, and then I have plenty of extras here that I can tie into. Alright, here's my instrument cluster. I've taken all the bulbs out except for the ones that are like engine code and stuff, and I left these in here, but I took the bulbs out and I ran the wire into the metal so it's hitting contact. Also, this one I took the bulb out and I drilled a hole through it, and that's where I ran my cable. It was right through there. Keeps it nice and snug, keeps it from moving, keeps this from yanking on the wires. So this thing's ready to go. I just got a nice little wire loom that runs here. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it yet, so I haven't cut it. All my connections are there for the Knight Rider dash, for the electronics part of it. All you have to do is run some you know, your 12 volt and your ground, and everything's labeled all nice.